Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. That's my email. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email concierge for inquiring about this or any Watchbox watch. Email me for pricing at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing a 2008 model year launch in a combination of rubber, sapphire, ceramic, titanium, and forged carbon fiber. This is the Royal Oak Concept Carbon from Audemars Piguet. It is a chronograph and a tourbillon with a near 10-day power reserve, and there's a lot to discuss because it is a big watch. 44 millimeters in diameter, it is 16.1 millimeters thick and 57.2 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It features a strap that is unique to the model, being integrated to the lug profile, but also featuring molded character lines that echo the design of the angular dial and the corresponding lugs. You can see that it features a little molded-in bevel on its side and a matte finish for an understated elegance. The buckle part of the folding clasp is also designed to echo the watch, as it features a combination of blackened components in matte and polish. It is a titanium single-fold AP logo style deployant clasp. Rolling back to the case, this is AP's forged carbon. It uses a unidirectional carbon fiber. Resin gives its coherence to the assembly, and then the resin impregnated fiber is autoclaved to stabilize it. Machined, finally, the ultimate shape is achieved. We have here a combination of subtle contrasts. You can have one color as long as you contrast with finish. So here we have satin and we have polish on the scratch-resistant ceramic bezel. And then we also have satin and polish on the chronograph pushers and the screw-down crown. The watch is 100 meters water-resistant. The bezel bolts are titanium, and you can see they're finished with a matte surfacing. The bezel is a rounded octagon, as has been the case with every Royal Oak since Gerald Genta designed the first in 1972. The rounded octagonal form was inspired by a vintage diving helmet. Now on the dial we have a rehaut that sort of slopes down from the bezel to the dial base, though truth be told there's not a whole lot of distinct dial. The bezel base sort of gives way to the rehaut, and then the rehaut gives way to an open carbon fiber dial that is one and the same as the movement. Now there's plenty of luminescence, or at least there's plenty of luminescence if you just want to know the hour and the minute. Drilling down on what you're seeing here, this is a product of Audemars Piguet's Haute Horlogerie Renault et Papy division, which means it has that division's signature multifunction crown. So right now the crown is in a neutral position. I've screwed it out from its locked position. Now it's in a winding position. So as I wind the watch, you can see, well, maybe you can't see, but I can testify that it is winding. And you can see because the power reserve indicator moves very slowly. Now pull it out to its outermost extremity and you engage the setting function of the multi-mode crown. Push that back in, screw it back down. These are not screw-down chronograph pushers. They're shouldered for stability against shearing, but you can operate them without screwing them in or out. Now, a couple things to note. With 2 mainspring barrels and 237 hours of power reserve, this is a near 10-day movement. And that, in spite of the power-intensive complication, we have a tourbillon here that is a 1-minute tourbillon beating away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It's adjusted in 5 positions, free-sprung for durability, and it uses an overcoil hairspring, so in any physical position, it keeps very accurate time. Most of this movement is made of carbon fiber for lightness, though you can also see the base plate is a green piece of metal, which I believe to be frosted green titanium. The watch uses a column wheel lateral clutch chronograph, and you can see the column wheel on the opposite side. The column wheel feel here is truly best in the industry. It is exceptionally crisp and positive. There is an unusual chronograph minutes and hours indicator over at 3 o'clock, and that actually indicates the minutes and the hours using a multi-spoke wheel. There's a lot of fine finish visible below the surface. The tourbillon is traditionally crafted. We have beveling, black polish, satination, and various types of engine turning present. You can also see that details such as the indicator for the multi-mode crown and the power reserve are alternately faceted with satin and polish. The handsome caseback reveals that many of the bridges of the movement are in fact made of forged carbon fiber, and all of the wheels feature satination, with all of the screws black polished on their top and satinated, or I should say rather beveled, on their slots and circumference. A very, very impressive watch, handsomely made, but admittedly for a big wrist. Reach out to tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.